Hi, my name is Adam Max, and welcome to my playthrough of Dinner Date. This is an indie game from 2011 that I had bought on sale back in the day before Steam reviews were a thing. Had Steam reviews been a thing when I bought this, then it's possible I might not have bought it. It's kind of one of those indie games that pushes the whole games as art idea, which I think is legitimate. There are a lot of games, indie or otherwise, that I think qualify as art. This is a game that I think didn't go in the right direction. And that's kind of why I want to play it today. So, we're in the main menu right here. We can see that there's this little set piece with all these 3D models, which actually look kind of nice. You know, they don't look great, but considering when this came out and the resources that I'm sure Stout Games, which is the developer, who I don't think I've ever made anything else other than this, not that I can find on Steam at least, but I assume their resources were probably pretty limited, but overall it doesn't look bad. We can hear in the background like kitchen noises. We can hear a guy right now. I think he's chopping vegetables. He was like doing the dishes before. He was maybe eating some chips. Yeah, just preparing for his dinner date. All right, so let's dive right in and just press play. I like how you can select a chapter too, even though I'm starting on a new profile. All right, in Dinner Date, you do not play as yourself, nor do you play as the main character. In Dinner Date, you play as the subconsciousness of Julian Luxemburg. Press G to take control of the hand and begin practicing with it. All right, Q, W. Make Julian do the small unconscious actions we all do. That is your role in the game. So this is basically what you do the entire game. I'm not joking. The reason that this game intrigued me was because it looked kind of strange for a game that was in first person and is an indie game and is $3.99. That to me seemed really weird. So I thought there must be something really strange about this game. And I was right. I just wish that the strange thing was also interesting. Which it really wasn't in this case. But yeah, it's been years since I've played this, so I kind of want to get another perspective.
That's how the Japanese call a clock. I'm quite sure she taught me that. It's a curious thing to do. Most foreigners just teach you how to count.
Alright, there's one of my bubbles.
Shit, she is late.
So
Marion hasn't responded either. Gone 7 o'clock. Definitely left the office now. I shouldn't have left her.
So this guy's just kind of going to be mumbling this entire playthrough. Not mumbling, like he's talking in his head. This is how it's being
I
framed.
need to start focusing on work. Yeah, I really need this date. It's good. And Jerry's going to be angry if I mess it up too, the way he arranged it. Those guys always get me into situations like this. Probably... No, they wouldn't get started at 7. Would they? Might be doing shots over at Monty's. Monty. It's quite right to use it as a pseudonym.
It's kind of strange because they kind of... It feels like they develop this in-game universe a little bit, but
Quite late to show up.
they don't ever develop it enough that we get a sense for what it is.
Might have just missed a bus.
He just kind of like rattles off these names and they don't really have any connection to this game.
That's a given. Shit, what if she doesn't show up? 10 minutes.
Like, the fact that this guy has a full name, Julian Luxemburg, is kind of inconsequential. It isn't something that, like, it's not something that's necessary to the story.
Can't remember what I've had for lunch. I was doing that.
I do like the in-game environment, though. It's pretty nice.
Good to have done still.
Again, for what I'm sure was a small budget and a small team. And again, I'm making assumptions. It looks pretty good.
Never meeting people like that.
The only thing that doesn't look good are... Ugh, look at his fingers. Look at the way they're bending. Oh my god.
Just a bit
That's...
rude.
Oh. You could see the polygons, like, folding into themselves.
I better just take a sip.
Alright, I'm gonna move away from that animation.
There's nothing wrong with just a sip of wine.
Oh, okay. Now all I can do is have a sip. I believe that this is how they break up...
Just the one glass.
I believe that this is how they break up the sections in
Yeah,
this game.
Yeah, go on then. It will stop me from
So-
talking so much.
Oh my god. Alright, if it will make him stop talking, then yes, I will have some. Wait, look at his knuckle. Oh, his hands are so grotesque. Oh, you can see it for like a second. His flesh from the inside came on the outside. Look at it. Oh, that's so weird. Yeah, and his hand is just clipping through everything. So if you haven't caught on yet, this guy is being stood up on his date that he quite lovingly prepared.
I feel a bit bad about starting to eat. Can't just drink wine though. Will it look odd? I'll just pretend I didn't when the door rings. Should be time enough. I'll just go, just a minute. Just a minute.
What's with the quotation marks in this game? Like, in both the title and in the subtitles,
Eating bread by myself here.
there's like a lower
Better be dancing with the guys.
title?
And Maiko. I would
A lower, sorry, that's not the right word. There's the quotation marks. That's what I was thinking of. The quotation marks are like on the bottom. The starting one is on the bottom, and then the ending one is on the top.
I need to focus my talents. Seek my inner self. Such floaty words.
Yeah, this is by far my favorite part of the game, is dipping that bread.
Can't do his work for Johnson. Why he doesn't just fire Marianne and himself? And what does Johnson do these days? Just sits at his desk fiddling his iPhone and having trivial conversations with the clients I get for him. Oh yes, he does all the lunches. It's a business expense.
This guy's voice actor is not bad. It's just he doesn't have a character, really. Frustrated guy who's being stood up on his date, perhaps. Oh no, the finger thing again. Stop doing that.
I could do with a bit of fresh air.
But yeah, this is definitely my favorite part of the game, is dipping this bread and then eating it.
And Maiko. Oh, they are right, aren't they? I just don't seem to
Drinking the
care.
wine is nice,
Here's a
but
pretty girl
I really
for the
like
first time in-
eating the bread. The bread is definitely my favorite part about this game.
What did Byron write? She turned upon a pill she lay, her dark eyes flashing through her tears like something.
No, not the hand thing again. We're not doing that a second or third or fourth time.
Well, probably would be wasted on Maiko. Nothing under 120 BPM can please her.
This guy,
Wouldn't mind giving her something
like,
over
never
and
stops
over.
talking. I get that it's supposed to be in his head and he's by himself, but
Really bad.
I don't know. It's just... It's getting to this
I
point
don't
where
suffer
it's
with
like,
that.
I can't think because
Send
he's
the
busy.
ladies.
He's so busy thinking
Cry out with-
that I can't hear myself think.
It's nice to think of her. It's good bread. And a good tapenade. I'm actually quite good at that. Yeah. And Mr. Donald will...
I actually must agree with him on
I
that.
can't wait to leave.
I think it is
Let them
good
go
bread as
down
well.
the drain. Marianne,
He just dipped it in the tapenade and now he's dipping it for some more. Here, let's dip some more. We want to get nice and coated.
yeah. What am I worrying about?
There we go.
Maiko's not showing up. So what? I'll just spend the night doing something useful.
You know, this game is too real. I wasn't told that this was going to be like a simulation that's so accurate to life. Like, this is kind of depressing,
Well,
honestly.
Fuck Jerry.
For all the wrong reasons. No, not the hand thing. Alright,
I'll
good.
just move on to the soup. I'm not that hungry anymore. I really just want to go do something now.
Oh, wait, no. Before we move on
Have another glass.
to
Yeah, I could have that.
more wine, I want to eat my bread first, so we're gonna do that.
She probably isn't.
This
feeling well.
is
I might
probably
want
the
to
most
drink.
accurate This is probably the most accurate bread dipping simulator that exists. Oh, you're making me put it down?
I don't need to justify
Why?
myself to them.
Just eat the bread, man. Alright, I guess I've got to have more wine first.
I can work with 2 glasses.
Can you, though? I don't think that this game would bother me as much if it were free. You know, because it's not really much of an activity, you ask me. Ooh, some soup. Oh, cool, I can dip the bread in the soup. Oh, and it even kept the tapenade on it. That's pretty nice.
Maiko has no idea what she's missing. She's probably just dancing God knows what now. It's almost 8.
Can I dip it in the soup? Yes, I can. Oh, this is the best bread simulation game ever.
We'll take the bike to work tomorrow. Can go to the countryside afterwards.
You know that game, I Am Bread, that was made by the Surgeon Simulator guys? That game has nothing on this.
That is rather good. Might go to a restaurant on the way back. Italian. Take a book with me.
Let's, come on, yeah, stir it.
And I'll be sitting there alone, reading a book.
Oh wow, so many choices. Which one does each do? What does each thing do?
The Michael dancing, that was rather nice. How do I always get along with those guys? They always call me.
Can I just take a bite?
Or they would.
Oh, there we go. Or have a sip, my mistake.
Mr. Donald doesn't really cut it. He's successful, makes me successful.
He's talking while he's sipping the soup. I mean, I know it's supposed to be in his head, but still, that doesn't make much sense to me.
Pumping myself up here. The soup might be nice, and I have a bike.
If there were more actions that rotated themselves in and out constantly, then maybe this wouldn't be as boring, but I'm just going through the same motions, pressing the same buttons, while this guy just monologues to himself. None of it has any impact on the game. None of it has any... Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to put that down. I meant to eat that. None of it affects his dialogue at all. If I were to sit here and not press any buttons except for, I guess, P whenever he has to drink wine to go to the next stage, then I don't think the gameplay would change at all. I haven't tried that, and I don't think I will, because that's more time than I'm willing to give this game. But it just, yeah, it doesn't make any... It just doesn't make any difference at the end of the day.
He's drunk after 2 glasses of wine. It's probably because of the skipped lunch.
You know, I just realized the color of the tapenade and the color of the soup are exactly the same when you dip the bread in it.
Well, we'll hang out now.
I don't know if I like that. I feel like that breaks my immersion a little bit.
I worked ahead. Not that damn Johnson ever checks.
He's talking about his Johnson.
Yeah, they should invent an app for that.
I don't know, guys. I don't know if this was appropriate to put in your game. Just saying. I know that this is in this guy's head, but should we really be hearing him talking about his Johnson?
And she seemed to like me. Did she? I can never tell. After a few drinks, everybody kisses anybody anyway. Who else did she kiss? Not Jerry, I think.
While I know that the point of this is to examine someone's inner thoughts, and I can understand that, like, this might be how somebody's thinking after they've been stood up for a how's that phrase go? Stood up for on a date? Is that how it goes? Anyway, if they've been stood up, then I imagine that anybody would be feeling as pathetic as this guy kind of sounds. The thing is, there's a reason why people don't typically make games out of this topic.
Or a bottle.
Oh, I'm gonna make sure to down that bread before he has any more wine.
Might as well finish his night drunk. Reset my brain.
Alright, so the wine reappeared and then everything else disappears.
She won't show up. She doesn't need the wine. Here I go.
Oh no, you can see his... Oh, you can see his skin clipping through again. Whenever he flexes that left hand, look at it. Oh, you could, like, see the polygons just jutting out. It's bad enough that the hands look all weird and angular, but it's even worse when it's like flexing and you could actually see the polygons breaking out of his skin. Oh, what the? I didn't even press P. See, this is what I mean. I thought initially that you just had to press P in order to advance, but it seems like you don't even have to do that. It just does it for you. Do I have to do anything in this game at all? Alright, he's staring at the clock.
Have a good relationship again. I thought that might be possible with Maiko. I'm not saying the one, just, you know.
This is getting too real, man. I'm getting so like sad now.
Might be still university.
And not in like a The Last of Us or Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons kind of sad, where I'm sad but I also feel deeply affected by the gameplay. This is just me feeling sad that I'm playing this at all. What is this? C? Oh, he's gonna have some smokes. Yeah. Ooh, he's actually getting up. We actually get to see a bit more of the in-game environment. Ooh, nice.
Not meeting anyone, biking or sitting in the office. Yeah,
They even modeled a little bit of the outside.
Worthy, I suppose. Just not sure. She ceased and turned upon a pillow, her dark little shade.
It's kind of unfortunate because there's like all these little details that would be nice to examine up close if you actually got the chance. Oh my god, he's yelling.
She didn't show up. So much depended on it, didn't it?
Man, this is getting hard to listen to.
It's not about her. It is about me. I've been this way for years now. I was 27 and still, damn, 27.
Wait, I just realized. Oh yeah, you can look out a little bit.
And hanging out with 20-year-old
That's nice.
Japanese girls. Very smooth. Perhaps I should just give up on love. Forget about it. If
Oh
it's
my
all
god.
going to be 20-year-old girls dancing to that music.
But yeah, there's all these little details that would be cool to explore if the player was given some movement. That's one thing that I don't know if I mentioned this, but my hand is not on the mouse at all. None of this control is because I'm moving the mouse. All of the camera movement is because I'm pressing these buttons to have him do various things. Like I just pressed N for him to take a smoke. Also, why did they product place LG up in the upper right hand corner of that fridge? I'm gonna assume they weren't paid?
Or just drunk anyway.
Or maybe they just try to make it like more realistic or something. Very strange, yeah. I kind of wish I knew more about this developer.
Perhaps.
Maybe I'll try to do some research after I play this because I'm just that curious.
She ceased and turned upon a pillow. Pill she lay, her dark eyes flashing. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. They maul that like small bit of an outside that you just see from a distance.
Flashing through her tears like clouds that rain and lighten. Like a veil wave.
And then in this section there's even less actions than there were in the previous.
The black curls. Oh, fuck giving it up. Here she is.
Oh. Pff. Wait. What? Oh.
Fucking neighbors. Damn. I'll just go search the guys.
What?
Get my coat.
Yeah, so I'm not doing any of this, by the way. Oh, okay, now it expects me to do something. You know what? I'm not going to press it. I'm going to just see if it does it on its own. I bet it will, just to, like, keep it moving. Oh my god, his hand. Ugh. I don't mind, like, low poly, or lower poly. Oh, yeah, there we go. It just pressed itself. I didn't press it. Oh, we actually get to see his legs now. Whose perspective is this from now? A mouse? Or a ghost, I guess. So I guess he left after being stood up on his date. Okay. Thanks for reminding me. I completely forgot during that play session that I have been playing Dinner Date. I think I might have fallen into a coma somewhere like partway through, so you know, I appreciate the reminder. In all fairness, this game, like, yeah, it's over now. I don't think it's lazy at all. Like, I don't think that this was like a poorly made game in the sense that it wasn't, I guess, feature complete and seems to have been bug tested. And even though it's a little bit messy looking, it works as I assume that they intended. Them being the developers, I mean. I guess Stout is the name of the lead. Stoutgames.com. All right, I'll check it out for sure, because I am incredibly curious. But yeah, this game just really wants to tell the story it wants to tell without anything that the player does affecting it. And to me, that's a little bit antithetical to the concept of game design as a whole. Interesting. Oh, now it's in the dark. Now it looks kind of like a horror movie. Wouldn't that be cool if, like, partway through this game, like, turned into a horror game? It's obviously way out of its scope, but, you know. There's a whole button that says back to day. It wasn't even day before, was it? I thought it was nighttime. Strange. Okay, back to day. And we're back to where we started originally. And now, instead of saying start game, it just takes you to the level select. So what was the point of having either of those things if you could always select levels like in the first place? That's what I don't understand. The clock, the bread, the soup, the cigarettes. Very compelling. But yeah, I completed that within like 20-ish minutes. And I'm not saying that games that are priced a certain way need to have a certain minimum amount of time in order for them to be considered worth their value. But at the same time, there are other games that are priced the same as this that have a lot more to offer in terms of content. And yeah, this to me feels like an attempt to make an art game that audiences weren't receptive to because it was more art than it was game. Yeah, and that was Dinner Date. Oh, I'm getting the wheel. There we go. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this Dinner Date video. I hope I was able to make it entertaining for you. More so than the game itself, because I know the game is super engaging for the general audience. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video more than I enjoyed playing Dinner Date. See you guys next time.